Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Guys, I almost drowned. Okay. I tried to finish all of this before the intro video was done, and I almost drowned. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, that I was kept safe. I'm serious. I almost drowned. My God. That serves me right because I should not have tried to chug it all down like that. Anyways, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is trying to drag you down, but it won't work. It won't work. Someone is trying something. Someone's trying something. I mean, before anyone gets emotional over this, like people are always trying something. There's always going to be like at least one person in your life that's going to be trying something. And I don't really think you need to have like a full freak out over it. You definitely should make sure you're aware. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Daddy, Lexi, Shell, Mindy, Louise, El Sexy. Just had to do a roll call. Shabuya, shabuya, roll call. Shabuya, shabuya, roll call. I see some Lindsay. Hey. Did you guys ever hear that song? The radio station that I used to listen to when I was like in high school and stuff, a radio station in Califas. Yeah, they would sing that. Shabuya. So I would sing that with them on the way to high school. Yeah, I don't remember the words. I don't remember the words. But, don't walk away, boy. You know how they did that dance? My love won't hurt you. I love that song. Anyways. Ooh. Trying to drag you down, but it won't work, you guys. There's stuff. Consequences are coming. The gravity of that. Consequences are coming. Okay, let me calm down. I'm feeling the intensity coming out my eyeballs. I'm feeling the intensity coming out my eyeballs. It's making my eyebrow drop. Okay. Consequences are coming. I want to see this real well. I'm serious. The way these cards are playing out, it's making my eyes cross. Woo! It's making my eyes cross. I'm not even joking. It's the sheer excitement of consequences. I'm all about consequences. I'm all about consequences. There is something that's being kept secret. Whatever this is that's being kept secret, it's about to come out. It's about to come out. And that right there, the consequence for that secret action, that secret intention, it's going to be the very thing that causes you to heal. Okay? Because it's like vindication is coming. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. People were acting a fool last night on TikTok. So daddy went and got my attitude adjuster. You know what I'm saying? Good. That stings so good. God dang it. Oh, that stings so good. Ooh. stings so good. I did it too hard again. It hurts. Meh. Okay. They're not going to be able to simply like wipe this away. They're not going to be able to wipe the slate clean from what they've done. Their intentions were upside down. Whoever this is, whatever this is for you, their intentions were upside down. From the start, it was something that was rooted in a desire to cause pain, to cause inconvenience. It was rooted in a desire to go ahead and just really mess with you, right? I've had I don't know that I should share this. In the past, I won't talk about anything recent. In the past, there have been instances where I'll experience cycles of uptick of like just really questionable behavior from people, right? And these are individuals who I assume have a parasitic situation. They're not to make excuses for them, but just to help us understand why someone would do the things that they do sometimes. Um, these are individuals who are very heavily influenced by parasitic, aka demonic things. And so they really go out of their way to take their delulu and make it trululu, right? They go out of their way to try and create circumstance thinking they're going to punish you, when in actuality, I mean, what did you do that needs to be punished? What did you actually do? And I found in the past, the people who do this type of thing, they end up screwing themselves over because, especially if you are a person who conducts themselves at a degree of integrity that is never ever up for compromise, it is never ever something you're willing to be like, okay, just this one time I'll be dishonest, just this one time I'll be questionable in my actions. People like that have a tendency to have experienced so many individuals who are questionable in their intentions. And because of that, we know exactly how we do not want to be. And so we also experience all of these situations where we realize, or we experience situations where individuals who are like this, questionable individuals who are targeting you, um we've learned how to protect ourselves from that because we've experienced it so much. We have learned to keep documentation. We have learned to not allow ourselves to mirror those behaviors so that whoever you're dealing with can't later turn around and be like, no, you did this, this, and this to me. You're just as bad. Right. So here's the thing, whoever this is for you, whatever this is for you, they're trying so hard to drag you down, but it won't work. Why? Because baby boo, you not a trick ass hoe. Okay. I'm gonna have to scoot my seat. I'm gonna have to scoot my seat over like this, just so like, I could sorry. This candle's irritating me. It's irritating me. um, what are they gonna do? You know what? Who cares what they're gonna do? Who cares what they're gonna do? I said that like I felt that, right? No, I was asking what are they gonna do? And Michael was very quick to be in my ear and be like, who cares? Who cares what they're gonna do? Really, who cares what they're gonna do? As long as you're aware of the different attempts to plot um on you, I mean, you can negate those attempts by simply telling the truth, right? By simply telling the truth, providing evidence of truthful, factual events. What you need to focus on is the balance that you're needing to establish for yourself. You're needing some type of balance in your life. And whatever's needing to be balanced, it requires your full focus for a short time. Now, invocation, ritual. I'm not liking the feel of that. It's a sense that for some of you, I don't know who this is going to apply to, but for some of you, there is an attempt by an individual to go ahead and involve others. Their intention is upside down, their passion is upside down. You know what's going to happen? They're going to burn their own fucking ass. Good. Would you like some barbecue sauce on that? I mean, how do you want it? How do you want it? I don't feel bad for people like that. Burn yourself. I don't give a fuck. Seriously. Let them burn themselves. You know what I mean? Focus on shoring up your perception of yourself. So that way, whatever these twisted folks try, no, that's not you. That's not you. And I think that's something really, really important. Keeping mindful of how these words and these attempts and all of this just foolery, how it's affecting your perception of yourself. Never allow other people's cockamaniac ideas because they lost their caca ass mind. Never allow that to be taken in as though it's true, as though you are what they are saying you are, right? I think that's super important. Super duper duper important. Super duper important. You need to know who you are. So when the liars of the world, these mother freaking hoe-ass Pinocchios, hoe-ass Pinocchios, because they want to go ahead and tell all these lies about you. When these hoe Pinocchios go ahead and try, you already know, like, no, that ain't even me. I don't do that kind of stuff. No, that's not me. Nope, that's not me. That's not me at all. No, right? No. It's always the shadiest, most dishonest people who have so much to accuse others of. It is always those people. Just to use this as an example, my life circumstance as an example. As you guys are aware, there was this whole cluster fluff for quite some time at this point that I hope it concludes soon, where an individual was doing all sorts of, first, illegal stuff, secondly, very abusive stuff, and they had the audacity. Is it audacity or is it stupidity? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know if they are capable of being audacious or if they are simply like that degree of just fucking straight up idiotic. They had the audacity to claim that I'm actually the aggressor here. Really? Really? Wow. Wow. Okay. So you've been emailing me for like how many years now? And I have like thousands of emails that are saved where you're detailing how you are going to abduct and torture me before you execute me. But because I said in one live stream in response to someone, and I'm speaking about my life experiences, that revenge is never acceptable. Correction is not the same as revenge, you know, and how I'm physically strong, like physically strong. You'd never know that I'm as strong as I am. And I go on to share how I lift about 100,000 pounds every time I work out, which is 6 days a week. and I can leg press over 500 pounds. So when I say I can kick the shit out of you, I will kick the fucking shit out of you if you show up where I am, because you've threatened me, you've threatened my life. And am I threatening someone? No. I even clarified. I'm simply stating the fact that I have the capacity to defend myself. Not only am I strong, I've been conditioned to fight my entire childhood. It don't matter how big you are. I know how to grapple. I know how to grapple. I know the physics of the human body. And that was the only statement, right? But they had the audacity to be like, I need to this, and I need to that. I need to be protected. Protected from who? From who? From the consequences of your own stupidity? When you guys are dealing with people who are like this, their own stupidity is going to be the very thing that burns them in the end. And as they burn, they're going to try and blame you. They're going to try and turn it around. A hoe ass Pinocchio is a hoe ass Pinocchio. The lies are always exposed in the end. It's always exposed in the end. So don't you worry. Just do what is necessary, document whatever needs to be documented, continue trudging forward. As you continue trudging forward, you're going to have moments where it feels so heavy to carry the things that you're carrying. And then you realize when you set that load down for just a minute or so, just so maybe you can stretch, or you can take a little break, or maybe reposition it in a different way so you can keep carrying that emotional burden. You'll begin to see in that moment you set that load down, damn, carrying that for as long as you did made you so strong. Oh my God, look how strong you are. Look how much you can do, how much you can lift. Look how much your stamina has increased. And no, we're not giving these people the credit that you earned. You worked for your strength. You worked for your stamina. You, the badass. You did that. You did that. Trying to drag you down, but it won't work. It won't work. And sometimes, because I know quite a few of us have our divine purpose starting to wake up, starting to activate, right? So what does that mean? I don't know, because I forgot. Michael, talk to me. What do you want? Michael says it's important for you guys to know whatever you focus on is what you are fueling. My people are smart, okay? They know this. My people are smart. They know this. You guys know this, right? Whatever you focus on is what you will fuel. And so if you want to fuel more issues, more struggles, then go ahead and heavily focus on the struggle, right? If you want to fuel the next part, the goodness, then that's what you focus on while remaining aware of what you're dealing with, right? We never allow ourselves to pretend things are better than they are, right? We don't pretend like the struggle we're in is not a struggle. No, that's lying to yourself. What we do, however, is acknowledge that there is a struggle, but heavily focus on the fact that eventually this struggle will be resolved. I am doing everything that I possibly can, everything that soul is instructing me to do, and it will be resolved. I just need to hold on. I just need to keep making progress. Keep pushing, can keep pushing. I was about to say, can I get an amen? Because why are you so vocal? Are you like a mimic? I did my process to check if I did my process to check if Michaela over here is a mimic. And he goes, hotter, hotter, more. Obviously it's him. Whatever. It's you stop being disruptive though, because I'm extra squirrely today. Extra squirrely. All right. A win-win outcome is forecast, but it's in reverse. So whoever is testing you, whoever is trying so effing hard to throw you off your game, to dislodge whatever process has been loaded into your template, is not going to work. It's not going to work, right? You're going to keep going. You're just going to keep going, and you're going to continue to increase in your awareness of your worth, of your purpose, all of that. Like, for example, I've been really trying to work on no longer sending out a frequency to repel people from me, right? Because it's just something where for several years I went through like a basically a partial shutdown emotionally and whatnot. And I just really didn't want people to be around me, to witness me, just our community. That's all I was able or willing to trust, to trust to varying degrees, right? And lately something has shifted, and it's like I feel this frequency that's being emitted from my chest, from my space, my heart space, a space of love. And it's almost like this beacon that's just being sent out, like everything and everyone that I am supposed to connect with in a healthy way, come find me now. I'm ready to connect, right? And I'm not intentionally doing that, but it's something that's happening so organically, so naturally. It's a part of me that existed before um, there was the events that hurt me deeply, right? And that's what I closed down. That was a large part of the partial close down. And as of the past maybe 48 hours, it's this nonstop awareness of attempts to try and agitate me, like random handful of demon horidas being sent to me to try and create all of this like just ugliness. And it's like, no, I'm really enjoying the expansion of my energy. I'm not going to shut myself down just because people are annoying me. Um, I was telling one of my friends this morning, she had messaged me, and then I had messaged back when I was at the gym, and I was like, I gotta go earlier in the day. All my ops are here, running opposition. Um, and what I meant was, um, there's a handful of like elders that go to that gym, and they're all super social, which I do enjoy seeing them enjoy conversation with each other. That's lovely. But I'm not there to conversate, and it makes me very uncomfortable. Because these people have physical access to me. It just makes me very uncomfortable, right? And And several of them have like made it their mission. These are my ops. It's not all the elders. It's just these couple of them that look for ways to be so disruptive while I'm working out. They just want to have all these conversations. And I'm just like, maybe if we were friends, I wouldn't mind. But it's just like, I feel you and your intentions, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. At all. It's intrusive, like highly intrusive. You know what I mean? Like there is this older gentleman. Again, he's not being perverted, right? He's not like interested in me in some sexual way. I want to make that clear. He's just annoying. His energy annoys me because he constantly he'll like stare at random people, and I feel when he stares at me like, "Ah, should I ask her about the app? No, I am not IT. Don't ask me about no app." Yeah, and I'm thinking that in my head because I can hear his thoughts. Or he'll be like watching me work out, tracking my shoulder movement because this is the guy who wants to bond over shoulder injuries. And he's like, I should recommend some shoulder. No, no, sir. You should not recommend shoulder stuff. I have a body worker that comes to me and works on me. Leave my shoulders alone. Right. So today he kept staring and staring and trying to find a way to talk to me. And I kept projecting this energy like, no, I'm serious. He kept trying to make eye contact, and I would stare at the floor, the ceiling, the wall, anything but in his direction. You know what this mofo did? I'm gonna show y'all because yeah, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all, okay? I'm gonna show you because I'm like, mother, I'm, oh, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I'm gonna show y'all, okay? You need to see this. I'm laying on the floor, on a mat on the floor. There's hardly anyone in this gym. Let me make sure there's no identifying. Okay. I wanted to throw my 20 fucking pound weight. I wanted to just chuck it. Why he picked? He's like, I don't know, 3 feet away from me because he had to work out right there. Literally, when I look between my legs, that's where he is. Sir. Sir. Okay, so I'm not imagining this right. And then my son was working out with me, right? He's working out in a different area. And I go over to talk to him. And I'm talking about, his movements, his, form and this and that. I'm trying to help him kind of tweak a little bit the form to get the greatest amount of growth. And then the other ops, like I saw her come up and I made sure to kind of cheat my shoulders a little bit, just a little bit, so that she only sees like my profile of my face. And you would assume that she would assume that because I'm not turning around to acknowledge her presence and I'm actively speaking to my son, that she would go away. No, no, my dear. She stood there with her sweet little self holding her phone like this to show me a picture of her granddaughter, who is 19. And she is really pretty, though. Being who I am, I'm like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. My son immediately turns around. My son is like, I don't know, 6 foot, over 6 foot, handsome AF. Okay. Please, handsome AF. And she's like, here, look. She's trying to shove the picture of her granddaughter in my son's face. And he goes, "Oh, that's nice," because he's not rude or disrespectful to elders. I'm saying. I'm saying, let the elders act a fool. Don't do that to elders. Be nice as you walk away. And she goes, "Oh." She was shocked. And so I said to her, "Oh, I'm sorry. He has a girlfriend. He doesn't look at other girls or comment on them or compliment other women. He loves his girlfriend." And she goes, "Oh." I was like, "You about to make it on his shit list, girlfriend." You about to make it on my son's shit list. And then later he comes up to me and he tells me, "You know what? She on my shit list, Mom. How you going to try and pawn me off to your grandchild?" I was like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm saying, right? So those type of things would normally cause me, who's already fairly introverted in real life, to fully shut down and be like, "I'm good. Whatever this frequency is that's making people want to, I'm good." And no, today I'm like, no, fuck that. If I gotta make if I gotta make elders feel uncomfortable working out near me, it's a big gym. Go to another part of the gym. I'm not shutting down. I'm not shutting down. Now, do I think these people are evil, malignant? No, no. They're just lonely. They're lonely. And they understand that I have, um, there's something about me that registers as someone who will tolerate a lot of people's caca, because I do. And they think they can continue this. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm telling you, the next time that old guy does that, I'm just gonna fart. I'm gonna fart, and I'm gonna look him in the eyes as I do it. Mhm. You know what's in this? Do you know what? And I even bought a silicone ring to like let people know, like, don't fucking talk to me. Do you know what's in this? This is like 40 ounces of egg powder. I'm locked and loaded, baby. I got a lot of motherfucking gas. I'm saying, I will start farting. I don't give a shit no more. And I will bring extra chonies in case I shart. But you know what? Hi, Daddy. Do I sound better? Do I sound better? I'll bring extra chonies in case I shart. But y'all want to play? We can play this game. We can play this game. I eat a lot of cruciferous veggies. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not shutting nothing down. Trying to drag you down, but it won't work. It will not work if you don't allow it to work. Again, these are people who have probably no idea the type of struggles they're creating in me. I was going to join a different gym just to avoid my ops, my elder ops. Oh, Lord. You know, look at this shit. Ooh. I was going to join another gym to avoid my elder ops. But now I'm just realizing, like, you know, because again, I live in a very, yeah. I realize one of my ops gave me info today, intel that I'm going to exploit. Um, they don't like to go to the gym early. They said that it's too cold. And so their joints need some time to warm up before they can come. I'm going at 4 a.m. I'm going to go at 4 a.m. I have a plan of action. And sometimes, you know, on a serious note, And I am serious about that. On a serious note, um, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when you're facing someone who's trying to drag you down, avoidance. Avoidance. Don't allow access. Don't allow access. I promise you. My one op who just, man, as soon as she effing saw me, she rushed over. She cute. She cute. She cute. She's one of those sassy ones, right? She's super sassy. And then she said bad words to me too. I love it. I love it. I love the sassy ones that cuss. And she's one of those, but I don't like her because no boundaries, no boundary. And she stands so fucking close to me. Like I could feel your breath. Not that her breath stinks, but I could feel the exhale. Honey, step back. She came up so fast, like, ma'am. Lord. Lord. And my poor son tried to protect me by standing closer to me. He tried so hard. He stood closer to kind of wedge himself. Hey, you know what? I got my plan of action. Again, these are not malignant people, but they're clearly being used to try and destabilize me internally without their knowledge. They're being used to try and destabilize me internally so that I will revert to old coping mechanisms that are no longer feasible. No longer feasible. No, not going to work. Not gonna work. What do you need to release? Those old coping mechanisms. The ways in which you used to handle your life, the way you used to deal with your life in such a manner that it's detrimental to you. So although that person didn't get to fully destroy you, you went ahead and stepped into the role of destroying yourself. That has to stop. Excuse me. I'm telling you, I have a lot of gas. I'm going to start using it for nefarious reasons. I'm not shutting my frequency down. No way. No way in hell. Communication is key. Communication is key. It's super, hands-on maneuvers. Partner up to help each other. Okay. What messages do you guys feel in yourself? Because I'm taking that as, yes, it's primarily me speaking to you guys and providing my input. But now what's necessary is for all of you who feel comfortable to kind of just share some thoughts in the comments. And those thoughts are going to help me better understand this next part of my journey. It doesn't even have to do anything with what I've been speaking about. It doesn't have to do with these elder ops. Only I would have ops that are elders. Shit. Ooh. Ooh. It doesn't have to do with the elder ops situation that's percolating at the gym. It could just be a random sentence, a random thought, and you don't know why you've been thinking this. It could be that soul is giving you a message for me. Or maybe soul is giving you a message for me and someone else who is quietly watching. So go ahead and write whatever you want in the comments, whatever you feel called to share. Okay. Balance spirituality and practicality. So we have to make sure that we allow a balance to take place. Right? We can't be all or nothing. We can't be all spiritual where it's like we're going to try and namaste our way out of the way we feel. We can't do that. We have to process. We have to acknowledge how we're feeling, how we are receiving a circumstance that maybe we stepped into or maybe we feel is being pressed upon us, right? Process how it's made you feel. Address that. Allow your intuition to give you insight as to what soul might be trying to teach you with that. I love this. Blissful says the first thing that came to mind for me was don't self isolate. I'm listening. I'm absolutely I'm listening too. Rejuvenate and rejoice. Love that. Love that. Love that. Ooh, yes. Isolation is necessary. Just don't be overindulging. That balance, right? Right? I feel like I need both messages because the first message feels very, very valid and appropriate for me. But also knowing that I do have a need to recharge and I need to balance that, right? Ooh, this. Insist upon yourself. Ooh. Love this. Love this. You have to insist upon yourself. You have to be your own priority. During this period, you have to make sure you prioritize your growth, your processing, your metabolizing of the things that you are trying to digest, right? The events. Believe in the impossible, but it's in reverse. So, this is telling me that whatever you're facing, you feel like it's an impossible circumstance. You feel like it's something that is just, it's meant to destroy you and eventually it will. And it's just, it is what it is. Um, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think maybe it's a difficult circumstance. And maybe if there's destruction, the destruction that's going to take place is strictly confined to the parts of you that are resisting your process, that's resisting the growth, the release, the liberation, trying to drag you down, but it won't work. As long as you continue to unload the unnecessary, your steps will be light and nimble. Step out of your comfort zone, but it's in reverse. So again, your guys' messages are being confirmed that if you need to take some time out, some time to yourself, then go right ahead. But as Mindy said, don't overindulge, right? That overindulgence is something that's going to create so much imbalance within you without you even realizing, until you're so imbalanced in your perception that you just, you know, you succumb to the efforts, right? Ooh, this right here too. Putting your own needs first for a change, making space for yourself, allowing yourself to practice that, right? That's very important. It doesn't have to be anything huge. It doesn't require you spending copious amounts of money that maybe probably most likely needs to go to something else, right? Mm-mm, mm-mm. Like I was going to go live Sunday night to do expedites, and I had been super sore from all kind of different things, and I was just like, what's most important right now is that I give myself the time to fully recover. My body needs to rest. I kind of just need to lay on the couch with my husband and my kids around and just like watch them playing video games and getting rowdy AF with each other, just having fun. Having fun, right? That's what I needed. That's what I needed. I needed that more than anything. I needed that more than I needed to make sure that whoever needs me um, gets whatever expedite that they need. Like, I will be doing expedites at some point soon. Okay. It's just a few days, you know, it's going to be okay. Right? Because I feel so loyal and so obligated to our community. Like I don't want to not show up, right? But what did I need? That day I just needed my family. And it is super cozy because we have an extra large couch. Like they're like if you turned twin size mattresses into a massive sectional. Yeah. So literally with extra pillows, you just sink into that couch. Yeah. We've had it for quite some time and it's like my most favoriteest thing ever. It's super cozy and you could fit hella people on that couch. It's like, I don't know, a freaking 20-person couch, right? Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think for many of us, we exist in such an obligatory state. And sometimes that sense of obligation comes from a place of like just really loving someone, really loving your group, your family. And you begin to create obligations for yourself that no one is really forcing you to do, right? It's like you're doing that to yourself. And then you're projecting it on to the person or people that you love. Like, really though, you guys have your own lives. If I don't do expedites on a Sunday night, you go do something else. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We're still going to spend time together. I had to tell myself that. You're still going to spend time on Monday. It's really just a few hours before you spend time on Monday. It's going to be okay. And I was able to just thoroughly enjoy time with my kids and my husband, right? It's amazing. Actually, was it on Sunday? We had an Uno, I think it's called a mega party tournament. That shit right there. And then after we started drama with that, no, there was no drama. It was so fun. And then we had a we had a Jenga tournament. Y'all ever play Jenga? Cause yo girl. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. And I just, I'm so competitive, right? So the final round of Jenga, my two kids who were going head to head, they were like, "Mommy can't play." They were like, "Mommy can't play. She can't play." I think it's progressive Uno. I don't remember what type of Uno it is, but it's a modified Uno. So the two of them are going head to head, and like the Jenga tower is like, and then my I think my oldest comes walking over because we're playing on the floor. He comes walking over, I think to take a picture. Um, he, and the floors are hardwood. And so sometimes it like creaks a little bit. And my oldest is man size. He's like super tall. The tower falls. And I was like, because you came over here like fee fo fum. Fee fi fo fum. He goes, eh. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ooh, it was fun. And I needed that. Yeah, I just blurted it out because I felt like I was playing. I was like, "'Cause you came over here like fee fi fo fum," because he's so tall. He walked away. He goes, "Mom." I was like, "I'm so sorry." you know, I just have really tall sons, is what it is. It's what it is. It just is what it is. So it's like this thing of allowing yourself to take the time and the space to receive what you need. I just needed some laughter that day. There was nothing bad that was happening, but that laughter and the time spent with my family really helped to rejuvenate me, right? And maybe that's the very thing that's kept me balanced today, despite my elder ops trying so hard to be used as Trojans to cause me to shut down and shut out people. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Mm-mm. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. Right? Dependability. Allow yourself to listen to your needs to the degree that you feel strongly that you got your own back. Far too long, you have allowed yourself to choose actions and options, excuse me, that make you betray your own needs. No more. No more. Start choosing what you need. It's not about preference. You can't call yourself selfish because you're considering your needs. A need is necessary, right? So when you remove access to you by those who are trying to drag you down, it won't work because what you need is to remain in your space of peace, to not be exposed to the individuals and the intentions that will distort your perception of yourself and your decisions. For many of you, the goal here is to reduce your productivity. Not going to work. Not going to work. There's been quite a few days. I think this has been going on for a few days. If you haven't already started this cycle of things trying to drag you back into old coping mechanisms, it's probably going to start within the next week or two. I tend to experience these things a little bit in advance so I could let you guys know, like, hey, heads up, this is what you might be expecting. So you just really need to pay attention to what is being attempted. You don't have to necessarily become reactive. You don't necessarily have to overcompensate and start cutting things down, cutting things out, closing doors, and all of that. You don't necessarily have to do that. You just have to be aware. And I think the things that will be utilized, the types of circumstance that will be utilized are things that used to be extreme insecurities of yours, like extreme insecurities. So just yesterday being live on TikTok, which I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I am. Being live on TikTok, there was a person who they had purchased a subscription, which I think is like $5. And I appreciate that. Absolutely. But then they began to present it as, oh, you promised you would give me, you would do a scan for me if I bought a subscription. I'm sorry, did I address you directly? What I said was, for those who have purchased subscriptions, I'm very grateful. And I try and prioritize you, but I pick who I scan based on whose energy I am drawn to. Right? That's what I said. So it's this thing, this old trigger of like being made to feel as though I'm misrepresenting something. I've never misrepresented anything. And part of the reason I've never misrepresented anything is because I never want to be able to be accused of misrepresenting anything. That's a trigger from childhood. That's a result of all the gaslighting I received from a narcissistic parent. So that triggered me. And I'm just like, no, I actually never said that. I actually never said that. And I reiterated what I said. Another trigger is um, because I do have the capacity to enter, to cross shields and barriers of energy with minimal effort. Someone accusing me of doing something to them that's harmful, which I don't even look in people's auric fields without their permission first. And I had spent like maybe 5 minutes reiterating and reiterating and reiterating. If you don't want to allow for the DNA activation, because I told them, if you guys give me 88,800 likes before I'm done live streaming, I will give everyone a DNA activation. Tell me why these mofos went to like 160,000 or some shit like that. I was like, y'all are crazy. So, because they did that, I'm going to keep my word. I promised I would do that. And before I started, I let everyone know, like, be very, very sure that you are actually able to handle a DNA activation, because once it happens, I cannot undo what is initiated. And that it is a process that, for those who haven't done the internal introspective work, it might trigger a dark night of the soul. And if that's not something you can handle right now, do yourself a favor. Do not put #yes. Like, you need to make a very conscious, informed decision. And I kept reiterating this, literally like 5 minutes. I'm fully explaining this. And I went ahead and I also let them know, like, you're not going to miss out. I'm going live on TikTok quite a bit. I'm known to do this kind of thing here and there. This is not a once in a lifetime opportunity. If you're not ready, it is fine. As a matter of fact, I will clip this part of the live stream. I will load it onto my TikTok page. So when you are ready, look for the video that says DNA activation. And then you can do it then. Because I'm absolutely about informed consent. And then I even explained, I'm not going to enter anyone's auric field. This is non-specific induction. I'm going to flood this space with a specific type of frequency. And that's what's going to initiate it. And I said, if you're not ready, that's okay. You don't necessarily have to leave. You can just observe. And nothing is going to be calibrated to enter your field, because I'm not going to do that to you. You can just observe. And if you're sensitive to energy, you'll still feel stuff. Well, I go ahead and I finally do the DNA activation. And then someone is like, I felt energy moving through my body. I did not give you permission. Well, bitch, did I attack you? Are you insinuating that I attacked you, that I singled you out? You have not commented until this accusation. And that triggered me. That was another trigger, because I've dealt with how many cycles of spiritual psychosis. Individuals who are so vehement in their accusations that are not accurate, not based in truth. I don't know who attacked you, but I don't even like you. I would never let my energy commingle with your ass. Please. You okay, right? So I addressed it. I didn't allow myself to get as triggered as I normally do, but I addressed it. And I was very clear, very, very clear why it was important for me to address that. Because as someone who holds myself to a degree of integrity that I do, especially when no one is watching, it is very offensive to make comments that insinuate I have violated your sovereign space. And I cannot allow that to not be addressed immediately, right? So, no, you're not going to drag me down. I'm going to address it right then and there in the appropriate way. And then I'm going to carry forward, which is exactly what I did. So sometimes you have to avoid, other times you need to address it, right? Hey, Wendy. Yeah, Wendy says she warned everyone over and over to leave or stay. Like, I was very clear, like, don't push yourself to experience something you're not ready for. Not trying to scare you, but giving you full disclosure. I even went so far as to explain that a lot of people who do spiritual services are in the spiritual communities and all of that jazz. They try and present things as though it's just some lovely meditation. It's like, oh, and then you're going to be awake, you're going to be woke, and it's like, no, that's just visceral. You're going to feel your life go upside down if you haven't done the work and you've been avoiding it. That's going to really fuck you up. I was very clear. Very, very clear, right? Um, are you being very clear? Are you allowing yourself to be very clear with yourself about exactly what it is you want and need from life, from your experiences? And even as you do that, are you allowing yourself to remain open to the way soul will present this to you, the way it will be brought to you, the way you will experience it? Because you can have an end result that you want. That's completely fine. Soul often will try and give you that, right? If it's aligned with your divine purpose, soul will give you that. Oh, Michael, please don't. Please don't. As long as what you want is aligned with your divine purpose, then soul is more than willing to give you that. But you have to give soul the final say in the way things will unfold to get you to that end result. Okay? Like, at one point, I've been working out for quite a few years, but I've never committed to it to the degree that I have now. And right before I got sick, I was like, I really just want to see how far I can go with this. Like, I don't want them to close the gym again. And this was like back in I think 2022 or 2021, somewhere around there. And I was like, I don't want them to close the gym again because I'm finally starting to recover what I lost when they closed the gyms for COVID, right? And and I really wanted it so bad. I wanted to see. I wanted to feel it. And I told Soul, like, make it happen for me. Make it possible. And Soul is making it possible. Last night, as I was laying in bed, I, for some reason, decided to flex my uh, abdomen. I flexed it. I was just laying in bed and I flexed it. I flexed it tight. And then I took my fingers and I went like this on my belly. And I was like, oh, I feel my little ab. Like it's fully formed. And I went ahead and I did that from my sternum all the way down to my pubic bone. And you know what I realized? When I lose my extra fluff, I'm not going to have a six pack. I'm going to have a motherfucking 8-pack. What? I could feel every single one. I counted that shit. An 8-pack. It's covered under about a 1/4 inch of loose skin and adipose tissue. That's not a lot. That's not a lot that's covering that. So now I look back. What did it take to get me to that place where now I'm seeing soul is really like, no, girl, you're going to see how strong and how fit you're capable of being. What did I have to go through? I had to get really sick. I had to gain 50 pounds, maybe even 60 pounds. I had to be so sick. You could see it in my face, how sick I was getting. I had to have an increase in stress from a grown ass male who doesn't act grown, threatening to harm me. So, hell yeah. To undo that health issue and to prepare for a possible in-person confrontation, because I tell you, the way I train, if you saw, you'd know. I don't train for a competition. I train for an altercation. That's what I'm training for. I'm training for an altercation mixed with powerlifting. I think I'm at a point where I could pick this fluffy guy up and toss him across the room if I ever need to. Pretty sure I could. Another one of my sons is like 6 foot tall as well. And yeah, I'm probably like half his size. I'm pretty sure I'm about half his size. And this was like what, a year and a half ago? I was able to deadlift him several times. Yeah. So you take all of these negative things that I experienced and they amount to the positive thing that I asked for. It's a positive thing that I asked for. And sometimes because of the way that our thoughts and our minds are programmed and structured, we will only allow to bring to fruition the goodness by first struggling and suffering for it. And apparently that's how my mind is structured. No, I'm not broken. It's in that additional struggle and suffering, perception of suffering, that the lesson is enhanced and expanded. You need to begin seeing how your life is trying to give you what you've been asking for. It's trying so hard. It's just we've been conditioned to believe that in order to get something good, the path to get there must also be good. Oh, my husband is beastie. He is very beastly. There's only going to be an altercation if you can get through him. And I promise you, I promise you, just the broadness of his shoulders. It's probably from the bottom of my glutes to the top. Like he's beastly. Yeah. I don't feel like any more negative is going to be allowed to be experienced, because now I'm allowed to sit in a space of realization of, okay, so those are the reasons. why those things, those struggles, those hardships happened. That's a large part of it, right? To show me how strong I am, how much stamina I have. And when I say I have stamina, I don't do any cardio. I just don't. I'm not going to burn up all of the muscle that I work so hard to build up. Hell no. I don't do any cardio. But instead, um, what I do is 3.5 hours of nothing but superset after superset after superset. Um, very heavy loads, very heavy loads. So nonstop, 3.5 hours. If that's not stamina, then you're wrong. Yeah, no breaks. I don't take a 1 minute break in between. No, it's one thing to another thing to another thing, start back over. One thing to another thing to another thing, start it back over. Next machine, next set of weights, always pushing, always progressive overload. And that's how I approach my life. That is how I approach every single circumstance in my life. Tell me how you're going to keep me down. Oh, put more weight? Good. You're just going to make me even stronger. You're going to make me even stronger. Yep. And that's how I see it. When you have that type of mindset where you can accept that the hardships, the inconveniences, the struggles, it's not punishment, it's opportunity for increased potentiality, for amplified growth. Whoever's trying, their efforts won't work. You will remain highly productive. You will be able to depend on yourself. Be careful about being hyper independent. That's a trauma response. But knowing that you can depend on yourself and having the option to allow someone to assist you, to allow them to be an intimate part of such a crucial portion of your journey, that's powerful. That is powerful. Accept this as your truth down to your core. Allow your passion to rise up. Allow it to serve as the fuel for you to overcome whatever little speed bumps you have, right? Consistency in reverse. Whoever's going up against you, whoever's trying to drag you down, they're very inconsistent. They are very inconsistent. They don't know how to take you down. Well, because you can't be taken down. You can't. You can't be taken down. There is something you're trying to achieve right now that ties into the reality that soul has your back. Your soul has your back. Magnetism. Part of what many of us are experiencing and needing to take um, a solid hold of is the ways in which you are being turned into a more magnetic being. You are drawing, and this is temporary, right? Until all the pieces arrive. You are drawing to you the people and the circumstance that will catapult you to the next part, whether it's a potential contract with an employer, a company, whether it is drawing to you the sale of your property, drawing to you the purchase of a new property, drawing to you a new place to live, drawing to you another work thing where you get a raise, you get a promotion, whatever it is, a new friend, right? A new relationship. You're drawing all of these things to you. And whatever it is that you need the most right now to really help you to understand how supported you are, that's what you're going to get first. That is what you're going to get first. Right? And I'm going to keep saying this every time it pops into my head, just because I don't want to allow myself to revert back to a space where I think that, I don't have what it takes. I don't want people to know who I am and what I do no. Fuck all of that old shit that I used to do. I will keep saying this whenever the thought presents itself. I want my old platform back. No, I do not want to go back to Facebook. I want my old platform back. I want my old reach back. Not only do I want it back, I want it back with compounded interest. I want it back. I want it back quickly. I want it back. No, not because I'm ready to be famous or a celebrity or anything like that. No, I want it back because I'm not willing to allow the people who are waiting for me to help them to wait anymore. I'm just not. I have something that I'm offering that can help quite a few people. And I am not okay with their struggle, with a lack of answers, and deteriorating health. I'm not okay with it. So I want my platform back. And I want it back with compounded interest. And a really good friend of mine, we were talking about something very similar recently. And it was this thing of like, it was such an aha moment. They said to me that, because I was like, God, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that what I ask for, it's almost like God is giving it to me instantly. Like the confirmation's like, yes, baby, I heard you. We're making it happen. What else do you want? What's next on the list? Tell me everything you want, and it's yours. We will green light it to happen. And it's like instant. As soon as I say it, boom, confirmation. Yes. What else do you want? I received that request. It is approved. What else do you want? And it was this thing of like, they said the most profound thing. Um, they said that the reason you get everything you want is because, and there I go. You're more than willing to put all the effort that's necessary to make it happen. And me saying, there I go, is me acknowledging, well, there I go, gaslighting myself again and not giving myself the proper credit, because now I'm thinking, well, that's not actually true because I've dragged my feet for a couple years. No, it is true. I work very hard, 7 days a week. I work very hard. I don't take vacations. My vacations are still work days. Yeah. If I need to go to California to help my brother with something, I plan the travel time so that I will be in a secure signal location to continue the sessions. I do everything that I need to do. So why wouldn't God make it happen? When all I'm really asking for is to be able to do more work. But this time with less resistance, less hiding, less playing small, right? Maybe the thing is, our perspective, the way we see ourselves and the life we've created, it's been so upside down for so long. Did I drag my feet? Or was I running through mud? And you might be like, well, what do you mean? Were you running through mud? Well, the amount of mud that was slung, thrown at me for no reason. You pair that with the earth that I was standing on, and oh my God. The amount of hidden tears. Of course, even solid earth would turn to mud with that type of constant flow of water. So was I dragging my feet, or was I trying to run through mud? And you, are you dragging your feet? Or are you trying your hardest to navigate the quicksand that is a human existence? If you move slowly, you will not sink. If you try to remain in place and simply wiggle one leg out at a time, you'll get yourself out. But if you try to run, if you struggle, if you fight it, you will sink deeper and deeper into that quicksand. And no, you can't just float through it. At no point have you ever floated through your life. Give yourself the credit that you have rightfully earned. Right? Give yourself that credit. Give yourself the clarity. Give yourself the clarity. Allow the fragments of you that you've pushed away to come back home to you. These parts of your personality, these parts of your character, especially. Your personality will change depending on the audience you're in front of, the people in your local environment, your immediate vicinity. Your personality will change. Your character, that's a core part of you. That's a core part of you. So why would I say personality and character? Because I finally come to the realization that even as a Piscean, even as a people pleaser, even as a people pleasing Piscean with autism, I don't need to play caricatures of myself anymore. I'm just going to be who I am. You will always experience the most authentic version of me. If I like you, you'll know this. If I'm drawn to you, you'll know this. If I dislike you, you'll know that. If you're fucking irritating me, you will absolutely know that. If you're behaving entitled with me and making me feel as though you don't quite understand, I'm a living, breathing human being, not a novelty, and you don't own me, you will absolutely know that too. Because I am who I am at this point, and that is all I'm willing to be in my totality. So what does that mean? That means my personality is the same as my character. There's no difference between the two anymore. I'm a whole being. My personality is the same as my character. My character is the same as my personality. There's no separation from any parts of me anymore. I still have a long way to go with my growth. Don't get it twisted. I have a lot of healing to do. I have a lot of things to address within myself, a lot of distortions that need to be rectified. I'm a regular ass person, but my awareness of my placement within my journey has absolutely grown. It has expanded. I'm very grateful for that. And in that expansion of my awareness, I've become aware of how much more growth is ahead of me. And as I continue to grow, I'll become even more aware how little I knew in this moment. That might be a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Who knows? But as I grow, as my awareness expands, I'll become even more aware of how much more I can grow, how much more deeply I can be in service, how much deeper I can love, how much higher I can uplift. You only know what you know. And if you don't know what you don't know, how do you know how much that is? You don't. Your potential is far beyond what you have the capacity to grasp right now. That also applies to me. My potential is far beyond what I have the capacity to grasp. Oh, Michael. He's irritating me. He is. He's irritating me. So I quickly shared it on TikTok last night. I haven't shared it here with all of you, my primary community. Um, I don't know, something shifted with all the interactions that I've been having with people on TikTok. Um, Something definitely shifted within me. And whatever shifted allowed me to surge just enough courage, which is not a lot, just enough courage to finally publicly post my etheric medicine offerings. I'm taking that first baby step into the next part of further developing my actual purpose. Yeah, it's intense for me. It's very intense. If you'd like to read about it, it's on the homepage of my website. If you just go ahead and click on this QR code, you're not obligated to purchase anything. Oh, that's not even the right. Hold on. Is that even the right link? Where does that take you? Hold on. It doesn't even take it to the right place. You go to emmaevolving.com. That takes you to my online store, to the energetic it takes you to the energetic services. Yeah, no, if you go to emmaevolving.com, it's on the homepage, and it's labeled as etheric medicine. The gravity of the distortions that we willingly carry inside ourselves. I don't know. It makes us blind to some degree, blind to the reality of how much we've already been prepared by life. You know, I was talking to someone last night, um, texting back and forth for a couple minutes, and I was asking them to um, look over the post that I made, the adjustment I made on the homepage of my website, where I'm giving a quick synopsis and offering etheric medicine. And then like part of me was like, I don't know if I'm ready to like publicly acknowledge that. And then it dawned on me, you know, this doesn't include the undocumented sessions, which rivals the number I'm about to tell you. Documented sessions, I have over 10,000, probably close to 11,000 at this point. Because again, I don't take vacations. I work 7 days a week. I work. To be fair, let's say 10.5K. What field of expertise, what profession will have you clock in 10.5 thousand sessions and still categorize you as a starter, a newbie, incapable, questionable in your abilities? What profession? What profession? Hold on. Let's see. I want the total. I want to know. Let's see. How many years is residency? Okay, so they work. Hold on. I need to know this. 3 to 7 years. 3 to 7 years. Okay. So let's see. Oops. 52 times 3 times 80. 12,480 hours of residency, right? $10,500 sessions. That's not hours. That's not hours. Those are sessions. Sessions range from 1 hour to 2.5 hours. And I'd say maybe half of my sessions are 2.5 hours. This does not include all the expedites that I do. You know how many hours I'm live on an expedite? On average, I work on maybe 24 people per expedite live stream. On average. And of course, my Facebook days, on average, I would work on about 40 people, sometimes 50, sometimes up to 60 in one live stream. It's crazy how we don't give ourselves the credit we have rightfully earned. I say all this and I still feel like, well, I mean, but I mean, there's no governing body. And really, I mean, they're just like conversations with people. And, it's just like basic energy work. It's just basic energy work that I've been offering. And yeah, in the past maybe 2 years, I've begun offering more advanced energetic options. But I mean, really, here's the reality. If it wasn't me talking about me, if it was me talking to someone else, I would have to mention Emmy. How many cardiologists have been able to completely reverse in a very medically documented manner end stage heart failure? Emmy, how many allopathic doctors, specialists have been able to produce medically documented proof of reversal of mitochondrial damage? Emmy, you seem to forget you've had several clients referred by licensed practicing neurologists. But I can't see it for myself because I try and say those things. Like I say those things thinking that I'm speaking to another person named Emmy, and it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I say those things to myself, and it's like, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. And that's because that's my norm. That's my norm. It just is, you know? So when you can't see your greatness because you're so accustomed to being so profound that you think that you're mediocre. You think you're mediocre. Are you? I tell you right now, mediocre people are not drawn to me. I know that for a fact. The average person is not drawn to me. Why? Well, because I'm too blunt. They don't resonate with me because they understand that there's a very high potentiality that I will call them out. And then there are those who have that fear that I will realize they're mediocre because guess what? You have imposter syndrome just like me. It's not because you're mediocre. It's because you identify as such. Yet here you are, still drawn to me, still sharing space with me, because you know in your heart you have more in common with me than you do with a mediocre person. It's not about competition. It's not about comparison. It's about understanding where you're at in your journey to understand yourself. Where are you at? Still in that same space of trying to play small? Are you still in that same space of thinking that nothing good is ever going to happen for you? because that only happens for, the special people. When are you going to accept you're one of those people? When are you going to learn to have gratitude for who you are, how you are, where you are within your life? When? Because soul is tired of waiting. Soul wants to know when. Soul wants to know when you will allow that world inside you that carries with it this messianic existence. Do you know what messianic means? I think I'm not going to tell you the definition. I think I am going to leave you to your own devices and seek out the meaning of the word when you are ready to hear it. When you are ready to know what messianic means and you seek it out, that means that you, my dear, are absolutely ready to step across that threshold of fear, that you no longer need to be afraid of who intends to drag you down, because you know without any shadows of any doubt is not going to work. Nothing and no one can stop you anymore. You are a train with no brakes. You're just going to keep right on going. And as you keep right on going, God itself is going to lay more tracks for you to guide you to the places you need to be, whether it is up a mountain or through a valley. God's laying the tracks. All you have to do is keep going, because that's what you were made to do. Do trains think and worry about where they are headed? No. No, they don't. No, they don't. They just keep going until the fuel runs out. It keeps going until the fuel runs out. Is there a steering wheel on those large freight trains? Is there a steering wheel? No, there's not. There are simply brakes, and there's fuel, but you have no brakes. None. You're being encouraged to really push forward. Just keep going. The tracks will be laid in front of you in perfect time. You will never derail. You will never falter. You keep going. You think you don't have the strength. Maybe not in front of you. You keep looking in front of you. You keep looking outside of you. That's not where your strength is kept. It's kept in a reservoir inside. Inside. Let me tell you something so profound. I learned this a few years back because I was going through some shit. When am I not? When am I not? These days? These days, I'm not going through shit. Anyways, I learned this several years ago when I was going through some really intense shit. And what I learned is all of the traumas, all of the pain that I've experienced in this life, especially being a person as sensitive as I am to even other people's circumstance and suffering, um, every single last tear that I've cried for myself and for other people, that was kept in a reservoir to be used as fuel. Every emotion, every difficult thought, all of that kept in a reservoir to be used as fuel. For a large portion of my life, I have viewed myself as an angry person, internally angry. For much of that, I wouldn't dare inconvenience other people by allowing them to witness my anger. People pleaser, recently reformed. So I just have these overflowing reserves of pure fucking rage. It's one hell of a fuel. When it's not used to retaliate, when it's not used to punish, when it's simply tapped into and sparingly utilized to assist, what is categorized as rage suddenly becomes sacred passion. It's only rage because I associate those emotions with some fucked up shit in life. When I stop associating that power that was set aside every time I didn't speak up, every time I didn't take action, every time I created a war inside me to maintain a peace that was not real. When I dissociate all of that, it just becomes a pure fuel, a never ending reserve of the purest fuel. I can teach you how to harness your power, your emotions, not to hurt people. I'd never teach you that. To heal yourself. I can teach you to enter into a messianic state and produce levels of self-healing that allopathic doctors cannot explain. Are you willing to? Are you willing to learn that? Are you willing to step into that space? Are you willing to step into that space and allow balance to be reestablished in your life? Or are you still in a space of thinking you're being patient with your process, but in reality, you are very intellectually avoiding the actual process because you're thinking, well, I haven't taken a class yet. I haven't meditated enough. I haven't gotten good enough yet with self-love. I haven't done enough shadow work. I haven't this, I haven't that. I haven't. That's not you being patient. That is you convincing yourself that you're not ready for something you were custom created by God to do, to accomplish, to achieve. Card number 23, move forward. Move forward. You need to let that cycle go. I think whatever triggering you're going to experience in the next few weeks, because I feel it strongly, you just got to let it go. It is what it is. Respond to what needs to be responded to. Ignore things that are just trying to shake you from center. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Stop with the whole cosmic connection. Something has shifted. Something has shifted. You're no longer waiting for a person who has the components that are necessary. Nothing is ever set in stone. For how many readings, how many weeks, months, and honestly, it might even be several years at this point. We keep being told there's a person that is important to your journey. They're going to come back. They're going to come back. They're going to come back. Something shifted. No, they're not coming back. Potentiality is a flow. It's a flow. It's not set in stone. There's nothing ever truly guaranteed. Um, maybe they lost their courage. Um, maybe you outgrew the need for them. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is the message has changed. It's now a message of that cosmic connection needing to be between the self and the soul. It's no longer a person outside of you. There is no twin. There is no twin flame. There is no twin ray that needs to come back. Not even for a single conversation. Everything that needed to be said in this lifetime has already been said. Every experience you needed to have in this lifetime at this point with that person has already been had. I don't know if things will shift again. I don't know. I say it's a relief. Michael goes, don't laugh. But it's funny. But it is. It's funny. It's all you now. You're finally at a place where you see you got this. Everything you need, it's inside you. And the things you will experience will trigger your remembrance of what it is that's inside you. It will trigger it right when you need to know. And it will trigger it so that you can start a new chapter. You're being guided back to self. 2 is a number of guidance. 4 is a number of self. 2 plus 4 is 6, the number of receiving directly from God. You're being guided to receive from yourself the reality of your power, your truth, and your purpose. Love that. I love that. I love that a lot. We got to go. I got to go. I don't know why. I need to go. I might be live on TikTok tonight. I'm not sure. Yeah, if you haven't already found me there, please do. I'm Emmy Evolving across all social media. Emmy Evolving, just like the channel or the page that you're on. Emmy Evolving. Look for me. Look for me, especially on TikTok. There's a lot that I'm needing to share. And simply because of the extreme shadow ban that I'm on here on YouTube, also on Facebook. So exhausting. My primary, I'm transitioning my primary platform to TikTok. If you don't have a TikTok, I hope you start one to join me there. I mean, you don't have to. I assume that you could go on your laptop, go open a browser on your device, and you just put in tiktok.com. I don't know. That might work. I'm able to on my laptop. And then you just I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know much about TikTok, but I think you can access it on your like browser. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. So, I'm teaching a workshop, the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. This is where I teach people how to access their personal power. I go ahead and I activate a very specific structure that I am aware exists. I've never seen esoteric texts or manuals talking about this, but it is a structure I'm very much aware of. And I teach you how to harness the energy from that. That gives you the capacity to go from Reiki master energies of dimensions 1, 2, and 3 to aura spectra bioregenesis level 1 knowing of 12th dimensional frequency. Very potent system. It's a 4-hour workshop and it's virtual. It's also recorded. So if you can't make it while it's live, the event is live, or you have to miss a part of it for whatever reason, it's recorded and you get access to it afterwards. You can rewatch it. You get a manual where everything is written out, and you get access to the recorded lecture. You get access to the clinical portion where we do the techniques together. Y'all, the way I teach, I'm telling you, it's a very specific way. We introduce the content via lecture hall, and we apply what we've learned hands-on via clinical. I'm telling you. You want to finally get to a place where you can tap into your potential? Do that. Do that. Tap into your potential. Let me teach you. Click on that QR code or the link in the comment, and hold on. And it will take you to where you can register. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and one more thing. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I will see you guys again very soon. And please don't forget, find me on TikTok. Follow me there. I love you guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everyone. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, did I end the live? Is there a cap on the amount of people for the workshop? Unfortunately, there has to be a cap because for the clinicals portion, and I think it should say it in the listing, there's a limited amount of seats. For the clinical portion, just to make sure that I'm able to give you my full attention within the time that's set aside, I can only have a certain amount of people. And it's just one of those things. So if you guys, I don't know if we're approaching it. I don't know how many people have registered. But once you see that it says sold out, then there's no more seats. There's a very specific number of inventory for that, like tickets available. Okay. Thank you for that question, Brittany.